Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have some legacy from Scholars Games in Brockton, Massachusetts. I'm on Tin Fins, one of the spiciest decks from GP Seattle. Neil is actually running the exact Grixis Delver list, card for card main deck from the GP. The sideboard very, very close to that, going with a Ancient Grudge over the Abrade and a couple of other little smaller kind of preferences that I have in terms of the power level of the sideboard cards. But very, very close to the deck that took it all down. And Tin Fins was right there in the wings the whole time. Very, very powerful. And you're going to have two different combos here for the Delver deck to deal with, assembling the Dark Depths combo as well as the reanimation of Griselbrand through Shallow Grave or Exhume. So quite a lot to handle. And Lion's Eye Diamond, Dark Depths, drawing Exhume. It looks like Entomb Exhume is going to be possible here. Going to throw out a Cabal Therapy. So Neil has that turn 1 Delver backed up by a couple of Bolts and a Young Pyromancer. That would be a potentially very strong hand versus some of the board control decks. Things like Death and Taxes would really struggle against that hand, being able to remove a couple of key threats and grow an army at the same time. But that whole strategy may be way too slow for what we're about to see here. Delver does manage to flip and get in there. Usually feels pretty good for the Delver player. And a Deathrite Shaman as well. So things really coming together for Neil. Just one turn here. Exhume. Neil going to need to hit Force and Brainstorm, or Force and a blue card, and does not do that. Griselbrand comes in. A land drop made prior to comboing off to play around Daze. Single Lion's Eye Diamond in there so far. You have to be careful of those two lightning bolts. Effectively at 2 life with 2 bolts and a Deathrite activation. And Dark Ritual into Vampire Hexmage, making a 20/20. So the team has been assembled. Legendary baddies here. Griselbrand and a Merit Lage. My two creatures are just a bit better than the two on the other side of the board. Hexmage Depths, just such a smooth combo. Very easy to assemble. Very straightforward, just make a 20/20. And here, swinging Neil has to block the Merit Lage for sure. And that does mean Griselbrand's gonna connect to the face and gain that life and just push this game completely out of range. Brainstorm happening here. There may have been some Christmas land scenario where he would have been able to block Griselbrand, bolt his own Delver, and prevent the life gain. But that 20/20, making sure that that is not going to be possible. A little bit of discard gets rid of Ponder. Now Neil's just living off the top of the deck, facing down 2 of the baddest creatures that you can have on board in this format. And 15 damage to do. Asking a lot. Bolt. The face, and that is it. Just coming in for maximum damage. Moving on to game 2. So here, Silent Gravestone and possibly Pithing Needle are going to be the things to take a look at. For sure, the Silent Gravestones. And what I'm actually going to sideboard out is Unmask and Cabal Therapy. Still have access to all of those Thoughtseizes. The thinking there that you don't really have to go as fast versus Delver. And if you were going to be Thoughtseizing a Deathrite Shaman, you would be better off playing a Silent Gravestone instead, seeing as how you're running Exhume. Things could get kind of gross if they do have, say, an Edict, then you've given them their Deathrite back. That also is going to block the surgical extractions that the deck often runs. Surgical, a very real threat for this deck, but certainly not a card that just automatically beats it. But it does brick a lot of the cards. Aside from losing your Griselbrands, you also have Shallow Grave and Exhumes in your deck, which are pretty much just bricks at that point. And Neil going to lead out with a Gitaxian Probe, get some information, reread the Gravestone, make sure that that all works there. Verify Living Wish can get lands or creatures. And again, opening up on Delver. And Thoughtseize is going to see Edict, Surgical, and Lightning Bolt. Edict is the easy call there. Lightning Bolt not going to do a whole lot, and Surgical about to get shut off by that Silent Gravestone. And of course, Deathrite Shaman right off the top of the deck, knowing that it's going to be totally useless. A little bit of rub-ins there. Okay, go play upstairs. Huge future Magic player there. And Deathrite and Delver coming in for just one apiece. And Neil actually opting to use the Wasteland here to restrict the mana. Maybe a play I'd like to actually get his thoughts on in retrospect. Wasteland's such an important card in breaking up the Dark Depths combo. Perhaps a little too valuable to just use as mana denial here. But Shallow Grave coming down, grabbing Griselbrand, and this could be over in very fast. Getting 7 cards. That extra damage from attacking 1 power creatures actually mattering here a little bit, stopping Griselbrand. All right, so from activating again, and then going to swing with Griselbrand here. And he will die end of turn. Lightning Bolt to face. So still kind of anybody's game here, even though Griselbrand had been activated, only able to draw 7 cards off of it and was not able to continue. Another Delver. And potentially facing 7 damage. A Lightning Bolt off the top would end the game here. Flipping the Delvers and taking out those last few points of life. And it looks like Hexmage is in hand along with Exhume. So it's really just a question of what is better. Getting back Griselbrand or making a 20/20, and in this situation, going with Griselbrand. Gonna swing in. Now Neil's Delvers have to flip to play defense to the Griselbrand. And Thoughtseize just grabbing a Surgical there, so just been drawing lands, hoping to turn a Brainstorm into something very useful. And Edict off the top. Flipping those Delvers. $13 life, so much. Those 7-point life swings here. I mean, Griselbrand just acting as a 7/7 lifelinker. So powerful. And a lot of ways that this could go here. Sending with both. And the first strike of Vampire Hexmage. Gonna take out that Delver. And now it's a question of letting the Vampire Hexmage die or making a 20/20. Now, if the Hexmage dies here, Diabolic Edict would take out Griselbrand. So making a 20/20 in after the Edict resolves. Let's see, so the exact sequence there is the Vampire Hexmage is used to create a Merit Lage in response to the Edict happened, killing Griselbrand, leaving me with a Merit Lage and a Vampire Hexmage. So perhaps not the best sequencing there. Especially with access to Living Wish. Probably could have gotten that Vampire Hexmage pre-combat and had another creature to sacrifice. That would have been a much cleaner way to do that. A Delver and Deathrite both needed to block. Living Wish fired off to grab a Dark Depths as insurance. And Neil just with some counter magic at the end of the game. Too little too late to stop Infins there. Proving to be a very powerful and resilient deck so far. That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.